Hello and welcome back to the Who's He podcast with me, Phil.
Me, Scott.
And yes, we're back from our holidays. We're a little bit late with this, but this is our knee-jerk reaction to Wish World, which aired on BBC One last weekend. Yes, we are quite late, but you're back off holiday, and the first thing we're doing is recording a podcast. Yes, indeed. I've just watched it. Scott, this is actually your second time
Yeah.
watching it because Scott had the foresight to actually download it from the iPlayer, and then you watched it on the plane, didn't you?
Yes.
So today was my first reaction to it. This isn't quite your knee-jerk reaction. It's certainly mine. But first, Scott, explain to me what happened in
Okay.
this episode because I'm completely lost. Completely.
So if you haven't watched it, you either want
I think they
well,
probably have.
if you
If
if
you're
you
watching this, you've watched it.
this or you haven't, whatever, click off or don't listen to it and then come back because
All right.
then you don't want to spoil it for yourself. Is
No.
what I'm gonna
Okay.
say.
Okay.
So the seventh son is like
It's a folklore thing,
yes,
isn't it?
powerful
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
and the Rani wants to harness that power to be able to create this wish world which is sort
Yeah.
of like if it collapses, like if the doubts collapse, it will break reality.
That's what she wants to happen.
Yes, and she
But
wants
how?
to bring out Omega,
But
and
how?
because the Doctor's like
Yeah.
brain is so powerful, if he keeps doubting so much, it will like as I said, it will break reality.
Right.
He's
Okay.
because he's so powerful.
Right. Uh, no. I just do not get it. I mean, I don't know how the seventh son of the seventh son of the seventh son is a god all of a sudden that can grant wishes. How did that come about? I don't really know. I don't understand how that happened. I don't understand the doubt thing. I don't understand why she's going after Omega. Why is it an underverse? I just didn't get it at all.
Well, I think they're probably going to explain that next
Well,
episode.
hopefully, I mean, hopefully he's going to make this. I think this is the problem. It's the first of a two-part story, and at the moment, it's not making a lick of sense whatsoever. What the Doctor saw Rogue on the telly, was that real or was that imagined? Uh, I really don't get it. Really, I'm assuming it was because that's what led him to believe that, or him to start doubting why the cups keep slipping, and everyone just it's just what happens. And I understand it's sort of like it's Conrad that's holding this reality together somehow. But I don't know why did they need him? Why him in particular? They could have used anybody to have dreamt up a world. And the way I see it, it just seems to be that they used him to score, I don't know, like political points on it, sort of like because he it was already established when you saw him in what was it, Lucky Day, that he doesn't like disabled people, doesn't like gay people, trans people, anything. He's got this it has to
Obviously.
be yeah, it's this reality creative. It was all like a very nice 1950s clean cut sort of like hello darling, that kind of thing.
Prim and proper.
Pretty, very prim and proper, exactly. Yes, I don't quite know why they needed that reality. It
Um,
could have been anything really. It just seems to be that it was like another thing for like it's like a thing now. You got like the likes of Farage and Trump coming through, and they don't like that kind of thing. They don't like people who are gay or black or anything like that, even though they'll deny it. But bottom line is that's what it boils down to. He's a bit heavy-handed, I thought, and all those people living outside of society because Conrad doesn't see them. To him, they don't exist, so they're just sort of there, the
well,
disabled and all that.
I think it's
That
because
kind.
he doesn't like them. He wish it because like
Well, that's the thing.
this is the god of wishes, and they took. I think they probably took Conrad out of his cell because he angers the Doctor so badly that
Well,
like
I
and if they made a reality that's like
I don't know. I don't know because the thing is, if he could wish for stuff, he would just wish those people out of existence. So why hasn't he done that?
I think it's so.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any
I think
sense.
maybe so he can like put them through something that can make them feel
Well,
left out
I don't know. I don't
oppressed.
know. I've managed to avoid other people's opinions about this, and I don't know. Maybe I'm going against the grain because I had to stay offline and not look at any Doctor Who reviews, listen to any podcasts or anything to get any, so it wasn't spoilt for me. And I don't know, just seems to be a load of ideas just chucked at the screen and not all of it worked, really.
I
I don't
think it
know.
works because
You liked it, you enjoyed it, because when you watched it on the plane, you were like, oh my God, like that, yeah.
one that going the only negative I have about the story is as I said earlier on, the bit with the underverse and where did Omega come from, because uh in the last story he was in, like, it was 42 years ago now,
Yeah, yeah,
Arc
yeah.
of Infinity, he was banished back to the antimatter universe. So will that
Exactly.
be a part of the finale? Is antimatter related to why the reality crumbled because it got put into antimatter?
Well, it could have done. I'm not quite understand the Vindicator thing either.
I think the Vindicator is powerful because it's collected things from the old reality.
Right. And I know you understood it generated power enough to sustain that world or something. That was
I think that's
I,
part of it.
I
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think maybe it'll see it in a different light when we watch Reality War, which is tomorrow, as we recalled. So
I
maybe it'll make more sense. But
mm,
right now, no, I didn't.
I do need to do I did some research before, like,
Well, we're gonna do any
literally
spoilers, are you?
in between that, and Omega is his job is a solar engineer.
Yeah,
So will that
he's the
also
father of all Time
explain?
Lords,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah,
along with Rassilon,
and the other one,
technically.
which I think was meant to be the Doctor at one point when it was
Yeah.
McCoy. I think they said it was him. Um, yeah, I really don't know what to make of this, and it's difficult to judge because it's a two-part story. We've only seen the first part, but right now, nothing is making any sense to me.
I
And what were those things with the? I mean, they look. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The episode looked fantastic. I thought it looked amazing. I don't understand what the dinosaur skeleton thing. Well, not even dinosaurs, just made up mythical monsters or skeleton monsters. Which I'm assuming was all down to Conrad. Why he wished for them, I don't
I
know.
think it might have reached. You know how the world was like old. It had like old stereotypes and like traditions going on. I
Mm.
think he wants it to go back to that, but like the dinosaurs are almost representing how he wants it to go back to the old ways in some
Well,
way.
maybe you're right. As I say, it's not making any sense to me at the moment, other than the fact that we're just there. And the whole thing about all the people was wanting to waiting for like May the 25th or May the 24th, sorry, to happen. Like it was like a new Christmas Day or something. That this was the big day, everyone's going to celebrate it. But then,
I think it's called
well, that
Conrad.
came to nothing.
Well, it came to that.
Yeah, I know, but why do they need everyone to believe it was a big day to celebrate if they're just going to get killed off? They could have just said nothing to them. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's making sense at the moment. It really
So
isn't.
it built because it builds them up for this excitement, I suppose, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm gonna die,
Yeah,
and
but
then
then
they
it's doubts, then, isn't it? Maybe
yeah.
that whole thing was doubt. I don't know, but that's fear. That's not
So
doubt. That's generating fear in people, surely.
so so
Watch it just fall away like a cup through the table.
so
But
technically the slip is like happens every single time someone doubts, and I guess there was so many slips. That's what, like, the things with like
it was realities falling
so
away,
the
basically.
people that were doing that were like calculating the doubts, and if it included the doctor's doubts onto that, it crumbled.
Yeah,
The whole of the
maybe.
world crumbled.
But I
But
don't understand why it needed that to happen because you could have just knocked Conrad out and that reality would have gone.
well,
Even though it was wished into existence, I don't actually know why you needed him.
Wishes holds it together, not Conrad. He just sustains it.
Yeah, I know. But if you knock him out, then it's not sustained.
Well, no one sustains it,
I
but
don't.
the world stays there. It
In
just
the history of
falls.
convoluted plots, this is the most convoluted. At the moment, it does. It's not.
Series 6, that.
Yeah, that was a load of old bobbins as well. Actually, to be honest, and I found this episode to be a load of old bobbins, and it's a shame because I've enjoyed this series so far, and this has been the first stinker
Well,
for me.
I
An absolute stinker. I really didn't enjoy it at all.
why people might not like it. Like I. the in some people's eyes, I think that the plot was decent, but the execution didn't make sense.
No, it didn't. It
Because
didn't.
the plot is really
What was going to ask you because I couldn't quite hear the dialogue, and to be honest, I am going to watch this again before the Reality War airs on telly tomorrow night.
just to get a second opinion on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, to get just to see if it makes any more sense leading straight into the next story. But what were those things sitting there in the black PVC with the?
Um, I forgot what they were called, but
Because I couldn't hear the dialogue.
I can't remember what they were called. There's
You did name them.
something beginning with C. I think there's some sort of like almost like a memory bank.
I, I'm assuming it's something
Like
to
a
do with, with,
living
with
creature.
it's something to do with Time Lords, obviously, because the Rani was saying, "Do you remember this, Doctor?" So I'm actually trying to jog his memory and say, and she did say what they were, but I couldn't hear what it
I forgot what
was.
she said. It became something with C,
Oh, dear.
then droids or something.
Oh, I don't. It was something droids. I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I don't know. So I'll watch it again tomorrow with the subtitles on, I think.
It's,
But
uh, yeah, I thought it was a good episode.
right, okay. So this is just a knee-jerk reaction. So at the moment, I just thought it was rubbish, actually.
Oh,
But you liked it though, Scott, didn't you?
yes.
You liked it. That's the main thing. You took away some positives. I took all the negatives out of it. So
Do you have any
it
positives?
just looked good. It looked really nice. I like the visuals. I like the whole 1950s style. Hello, darling, Terry and June style
Mm.
fantasy lives that everybody was. Well, they appeared to be living anyway. Yeah, and it just looked good. But the plot itself, I thought was awful. And actually, one good thing I did like, they didn't turn the Rani into the master.
Well, oh, some
It
people
was all an experiment. It was, and she said, "I bring life, not death." But she just
well,
killed everyone on the planet.
it's a some sort of scientist, biologist, scientist kind of thing. Because like she
Yeah,
had
she was.
a dinosaur in her TARDIS.
Yeah, she was. She was a scientist. That was the thing. But she had no sort of morals, and that's what they've done with this, and it's good. It's not.
One one thing people were complaining about her character, but like related to what you said about the master, was the dance scene.
Yeah, that was very much
It was like very
RTD.
the doctor.
Yeah, RTD can't help himself when it comes to finales and getting the bad guys to put on some music and dance. So,
Fair enough.
but it's been done before. That's the
Spice up
problem.
your life. But yeah,
Oh dear.
okay.
Anyway. So,
And
oh god,
last question.
gone.
What does the Seal of Rassilon have to do with and why is the clock
Do you know?
opposite the Seal of
I
Rassilon?
don't know.
Is it gonna open and then Rassilon's gonna come out of it and be like,
Not wrestling. It's
"Toy,"
going to be Omega. It's going to be
or
Omega.
something
I've
happening?
got. I reckon we won't even see Omega. It'll just be stopped, and it is a bit. I do think it's a bit weird that, and this is my final thought on it. Really, this is two series on the bounce now under the Disney era, where RTD, when it was relaunched, we're going to call it season one. It's going to be a jumping off point for any Doctor Who fan to, or
Dumping.
the new fans to jump into with no old villains. So he's had Sutek, which we haven't seen on telly for the best part of what 50 odd years, as the big bad. And then this season, you've got Omega, we haven't seen for what 42 years.
Or like
So,
people go back and watch those episodes and then get into that.
but those
So they get
episodes,
all of Doctor Who.
but those episodes aren't on Disney Plus.
Well, actually, there's a Doctor Who channel that they've been uploading to. That's not for the UK, but you can access like they've been uploading in order all the episodes from the beginning, so you can just
But
go back and watch them through
I
there.
will say your average viewer is not going to do that.
Well,
We're not like us. We're obsessives.
I don't know if Americans
We're
have
dogs.
box, but
Um, I'm not sure.
I don't know Doctor
I'm
Who.
not sure. I'm not even sure if it's still on BritBox anymore now, Doctor. I think it got taken off, but
It went
oh,
out of
maybe it's not.
existence. Like
Well, it's ITVX now in this country. You can watch. You used to be able to watch Doctor Who on ITVX. Anyway. Let's not get into that. So, your score.
Because there's so many things left open, and I am worried they're not gonna solve it. And if so, I hope they solve it if Doctor Who does come back, because I don't think it's
Hmm.
gonna come back next year. I think War Between the Land and the Sea might fill in that gap between
Hmm.
2025 and 2027. So I think I'm gonna rate this a 7.5.
Oh, we're doing halves. So we're doing halves.
Eight. But then I realized that it might not come back, so if they leave stuff open, it's going to be a pretty pointless
Yeah,
finale.
yeah.
But I think the rest of it was good.
Okay. 5. out of
Really?
10 for me. Yeah, I really didn't enjoy this
So I know we've already been through it, but why would you deduct 5 points? Like as a
because I
summary?
thought the story was bobbins. It didn't make any sense at all. It was utter
Well, it
tosh, to be
it
honest.
it did make sense. I think.
There's too many ideas, and it's typical RTD. Too many ideas, and you just know next week none of them are going to land. None of them.
Well,
He never sticks to landing. Like, I mean, please, RTD, prove me wrong. And we don't have long to wait because it's on tomorrow,
I mean, he stick to
isn't it?
series 4, so it can't be that hard.
Kind of,
Oh gosh.
kind of. But anyway. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, so I was really disappointed because there's no resolution to why the TARDIS doors blew inwards.
I think it's because
I don't know.
the world was being created, so like, or was there some sort of like?
Well, no, they landed on the day the reality got destroyed.
I think there's some sort of paradox might have happened there
Oh, I don't
because
know.
they were
I'm
on.
hoping tomorrow's
I
episode.
think as it exploded, they got put into that like reality, and it started. That's the new reality after the first world Earth was destroyed, basically. And
Well,
then they got put because they were caught in the explosion. They were put into the new reality, and then now they're remembering what's sort of like happening. Everything's going to shambles, basically.
oh, don't know, don't know.
I got my
You got your
theories.
theories, mate. You're probably right. You understood it more than I did. You took away a lot more from it than I did. I'm
That's,
afraid.
that's,
I was looking at me phone through it.
yeah.
I was bored with this one.
Before we end this, there's also another theory I wanted to talk about,
Oh, go on.
which I already told you about. The
This is the knee-jerk reaction, so this is going a bit longer. Like a
this
Ruby. Oh yeah, go.
this is this because it's I know this is kind of like I know it's a knee-jerk reaction, but because there's so much going on in the episode, it needs to be a bit longer, there's a theory with Ruby that it was supposed to be her in series 2, not Belinda, and that
Hmm.
the Ruby's actor couldn't do just really
Billy Gibson
didn't
couldn't do it.
enjoy the night shoots anymore, so that's why she stopped doing Doctor Who and Belinda was introduced because there's a lot of like scenes between the Doctor and Belinda that are sort of feel a bit more like the Doctor Ruby because
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
written in like in the story and the engine like she's barely there mainly because of that and
She wasn't. She didn't do a lot this
she did
episode either.
at
To
the
bit.
song contest didn't do much.
No, she didn't do much this one either.
I
To us.
think I think this episode was supposed to go different than it was and it might have been a last minute sort of
Maybe,
result. So
maybe. Yeah, yeah.
then she became the Doctor's like wife instead, and then I had to put in that Ruby was like an outcast now, and they had to do all that stuff because she'd signed up for like X number amount of
Oh,
episodes.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a theory.
Yes.
An online theory.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, there might be some truth to that. There might be some truth to it. But anyways, that's our knee-jerk reaction. I honestly do not know what the rest of the world thought about this. I've got absolutely
Well,
no. I'm going to read up myself now. I'm going to listen to a few podcasts after. Anyway, so we won't be obviously because the reality war is on tomorrow. We won't. Paul and I won't be doing an in-depth look at Wish. Was it Wish World? I think you've got the name of the bloody episode. It was tosh, absolute tosh. So anyway, so we want to talk about it obviously when we do an in-depth thing when we talk about reality war. But before then, Scott and I will be back after Doctor Who has aired on BBC One tomorrow with our knee-jerk reaction for the season finale, the reality war. You're looking forward to it? Because
yes.
we'll find out if Ncuti Gatwa is staying or going, or we got a fake out regeneration. Is there going to be no regeneration? Is it all
It's too much
absolute?
to predict.
I know, I
It's
know.
kind of scary now.
But it's actual for it's on at 6:50 on BBC One tomorrow, and it'll be simultaneously airing on Disney Plus and iPlayer, also in the cinemas in the UK as well. Exactly. So it's on at 10 to 7 on BBC One and finishes at 8 o'clock. It's an hour and 10-minute finale. Ooh. Anyway, I hope RTD sticks the landing on this one because last season he didn't. He just took the dog for a walk.
So that reminds me of a meme. Someone put so oh sorry I keep like adding things onto this.
Go on then.
But someone said Daddy RTD cooks.
What?
Someone said,
Daddy RTD cooks.
yeah, someone said Daddy RTD cooks and then put and then sped up the finale about how he attached a leash to Shutek and was
I
like,
don't get that. What
wait,
does that mean? Is this youth speak?
oh, he did so well at doing this finale and just put in and then just put in this scene really, really fast. So the Doctor and Ruby taking Rizek for a walk.
Oh, right. Okay. Daddy RTD. So, okay. So that was for our young adult audience. For the old codger audience, which is my side of the podcast, I didn't understand a word of that.
Do you
You
need
young kids with your rock hand or roll.
me to explain? Let me to explain in
No, let's wrap
boomer.
this up. Let's wrap this up. Anyway, so we'll be back tomorrow with our knee-jerk reaction for the reality war. So until then, everybody, it's goodbye from me, Phil.
And goodbye from me, Scott.
Goodbye.